How are we doing, folks? It's been a while. 7 months I've been away. Not away in prison or anything. Been on holidays for a bit of a time in Australia, but back and just sorting the garage out. And I said I was going to fit a rev counter to the little B25. So I did fit an electronic rev counter to the B50 a couple of years ago, and I think there's a video on that as well. It's a similar type of rev counter, maybe a little bit newer style. The other one was a white face, this is a black face, but it's electronic. And I was thinking this is a Honda Speedo, because it's got a Honda front wheel with a Speedo mechanism built in. B50 forks, by the way, so hence this little bracket here. So I was thinking of doing similar from here, little aluminium bracket coming off this off the top yoke. Anyway, this is the little device. So it's obviously Chinglish, eBay special or whatever. It's not worth me putting the link on where I got it from, or the seller, because it was a long time ago and it's probably changed now or whatever, but there's millions of them, not millions, thousands of them on Fleabay, and there's a few variations, but this is the one, or the style that I fitted last time. So it's 2" or 52mm. Bit different this time, it's a black face. The other one was a white face and it was a clear glass, but this one I'll have to leave it powered all the time. Anyway, let's just get a battery and just see what the display looks like. So just be back in a... Okay, so I've got a 12-volt power supply. Here's the instructions that come with it. So obviously dual voltmeter, exhaust gas temperature, interesting, oil pressure gauge, obviously an electronic device, air fuel ratio, oil water temp, and this is ours, tacho gauge. I'm not so there's the battery. I'm not really sure what that's supposed to be, but red and white are obviously going to be battery. Maybe it's saying that red's permanent and white is switched, I don't know. Black is ground, yellow is the backlight, positive, and the green is the sensor wire for it'll be on the CB side, or the contact breaker side of the coil. So let's I've got a 12-volt power supply, so if I wind the red and the white, so it's saying positive permanent supply and switch supply, and positive supply for the backlight. So we twist all them together, the green becomes redundant for the test, so that's going to be my negative. So let's put the negative on first because we can, and this will become the pos. So I'm set I couldn't find a battery handy, so 12 volts, and here we go. Nothing. Oh, because I've disconnected the... Hold on. There we go. Some kind of cell test. The other one did that. So there's a little button on the bottom that you press to set for how many cylinders. So if I press it, maybe you have to hold it. So I would say that's set for 4-cylinder. 5, 6, 7 cylinder, really? 8, 1, and because I've got electronic ignition, spark idle, it's going to spark every time the piston comes to the top, even on valves rocking. It's going to be 2, isn't it? Whoops, timed out. 1, 2, and then hold. So now if I do it again, it should be set to twin. Yeah, and hold. So I can live with that. It's a bit bright. I think I put a resistor in the line for the light on the last one, but I think because it's got a dark glass in this one, it should be fine. So I'm going to make a template out of aluminium so I can mount it on the top of the yoke. So let's make a bit of a cardboard template, see what it's going to look like. So I'll be back in a second. So I've got a bit of 1.5mm. I've just hacked something out, trying to maximise the length of that. It's giving me something like that. So what we're on today, we're on Rice Krispies today. So that's going to be the shape. Obviously that is our spring top yoke nut. There's our 52 or whatever it is, 2-inch in old money. So let's cut that out, try it on the bike, see what it looks like, and if it's any good we'll hack one out of that piece of alloy. Okay, so there she is in place. Obviously that would be just bent up a little bit, can't do it with the cardboard obviously, about there. And I've just had to move that in about 20mm because I've put a really big steering lock on this, a really big steering lock. No problem that way, but when I went that way the choke cable was getting a bit tight, but that's going to work out absolutely perfectly, I think. So that'll be about there. So sitting in the bike, you're going to be in this position. That's the view you're going to get, looking down. So yeah, it's going to work out. So let's hack the aluminium up to that shape and see how we go. See you in a second. Okay, this is just my method of making the holes. I probably have got a hole saw or hole saw's equivalent of, but just chain drill and just use a pair of side cutters and just nip, and then the middle bit will fall out. Then it's obviously with a half round file, it's very easy to get your to get a nice radius. So probably better than using the hole cutter because they seem to generate a lot of heat and seems to melt more, wander more or whatever, but you're in control doing it that way anyway. I'll nip the other one out, we'll file it up, let's have a look. So there we are, all filed up, deburred or whatever you want to say. See if she see what it looks like. Oops. something like that. So we'll stick it on the bike. I'll obviously have to put a little set in it about there, but I'll do that when it's on the bike. So I'll do the same with the speedo, just to give a bit of, so it's like more level with your face, so you don't get the reflection. Okay, let's whack it on the bike and let's have a look. Okay, so I'll just done the wiring diagram. We'll jump on the bike in a second. I knew I had 2 spare cores, so I was going to use core number 5. I had a 7 core down the spine, and I noticed it was being used because I forgot to update the drawing. But we fitted an oil pressure switch last year and a warning light, so that took out cable number 5, so I had 1 spare cable left down the spine of the bike. Number 6, bit long-winded. So picked up the power from inside the headlamp to the rev counter using those 3 wires, which are fastened all together, the red, the white and the yellow. The yellow was the backlight, which is going to be on all the time when the ignition's on, because it's got a dark screen in front of it. Black went to negative, which again I've got a negative inside the headlamp shell, and then the long run down the spine goes all the way back onto the bike, and it goes onto the CB side, or the contact breaker side if you've got points, or the switching signal side of the coil, so CB in my case. And obviously this bike is wired, the harness that we made for it, it's a negative earth harness, so whether one of these would work with a positive pulse, I don't know, because I haven't got a positive earth bike to try it on. But I was looking through my box of bits, and I was looking at the date on this, 2002, and look what I found in the box of bits. Another one of these. So I think this one was, I must have bought 2 when I did the B50. So I fitted one of these a couple of years ago on the B50, same wiring. So it was yellow, red and white become the positive feed. So all them joined up, that's 1. Black was the ground, negative in my case, and the green one went to the CB, or the contract breaker side, or the SW side of the ignition coil. So yeah, I had one all the way along, but I like the black. I mean, they're only 12 quid or something, 11 quid. So let's have a quick look on the bike. So that's the drawing done, wired as is. So let's have a quick look on the bike. So there it is, and in the headlamp shell, what I did, I used a bit of I stripped a bit of 7 core and used the outer sheathing to run all the wires inside the shell. There's the 3 wires together, the earth, and then the green wire connects onto the spine wire down the frame inside this grey one into the block, and then out onto the CB side of the coil. So ignition on, ignition on. So it does like some kind of self-test. So I think the wiring is correct. It'll only be a small fire if not. And I'll just throw all the stuff back on the bike, and we'll see if we can. She hasn't run for 7 months, but no reason why it shouldn't. And we'll give it a try and see how we go. So we will see you in a short while. Okay, she's been stood for 7 odd months. Could have put my super duper silencer on there, which is a bit of scaffolding tube turned up that fits in there, and this is the original silencer the wrong way round because it is quite still noisy even though I've got the extra baffle in there. So let's have a look, see, stand you up here. Are you in the view somewhere? That'll do. Okay, so I've checked the oil level. I've had the isolation valve off anyway, so there should be no wet sumping. Isolation valve's open, and I did check the oil level, and the oil level's not dropped, so obviously nothing's gone through into the sump. So I don't know how much fuel's in there. Let's put both taps on. Bit of fuel. Going for half choke. Half choke. Ignition on. See how we go. Okay, what can you say? Nice rev counter, I like it. And okay, it's white. I mean, I could actually spray that black to match that, couldn't I? But I'm getting a bit crazy. But, you never know. So all in all, it's a job done. So next job is this old girl's not run for 7 months. So I'll just do a few. I might do a vid on that because this I haven't got a wet sumping isolation valve on this one. So I might just, and unlike the 120 motors, the 650 motors, the 100 motors have a sump plug, or looks like a rocker cap plug in the bottom, which you can take out just to see if she has wet. I can also check the oil level, but I'll just pull the plug out anyway. And I think I did take the ethanol out of the fuel. Anyway, I'll check the fuel before we try to start it, but on the next vid we'll do a few startup checks, and then we'll see if that one will go. So I'll see you on the next video. See you later, folks.